Abraham took a leap of faith as he patiently waited for God's promise. In the ancient city of Ur, a man named Abram lived a comfortable life. He was 75, had a wife named Sarai, plenty of livestock, and a good standing in his community. By all accounts, he was settled. But one thing was missing: a child. In his culture, this meant no future, no legacy. It was a deep-seated ache in the heart of their home. Then one day God spoke, a voice cutting through the ordinary, saying, "Leave your country, your people, your father's house, and go to a land that I will show you." God was asking Abram to leave everything he had ever known: his family, his security, his home, and travel to a place that wasn't even on a map yet. It was a blindfolded journey of trust. But this command came with an incredible promise. God said, "I will make you into a great nation, and I will bless you. I will make your name great, and you will be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you, and whoever curses you, I will curse. And all peoples on earth will be blessed through you." A great nation? For a man with no children, who was well past his prime, it must have sounded impossible, almost laughable. Yet there was something in that voice, something in the weight of that promise, that stirred Abram's soul, and so he believed. He took Sarai, his nephew Lot, all their possessions, and everyone who had joined them, and he set out for the unknown land of Canaan. He left everything behind, armed with nothing but a promise from God. When they finally arrived, God appeared to him again, saying, "To your offspring I will give this land." In response, Abram built an altar. It was an act of worship, a physical marker of his faith in a promise he couldn't yet see. But faith is often tested by time. Years rolled by. Abram's wealth grew, his flocks multiplied, but the nursery remained empty. The promise of a son seemed to fade with each passing year. Abram was getting older, really old. The logical part of his mind must have been screaming, "How can this possibly happen now?" One night, feeling the weight of this long wait, God led Abram outside under the vast, dark sky. "Look up at the heavens," God said, "and count the stars, if you can count them." Abram tilted his head back, his eyes adjusting to the countless pinpricks of light scattered across the infinite darkness. Then God delivered the promise again with a breathtaking visual. "So shall your offspring be." In that moment, Abram believed the Lord, and he credited it to him as righteousness. Abram didn't have a roadmap. He didn't understand the how. He simply chose to trust the one who made the promise. And that act of faith, that simple, vulnerable trust, was what made him right in God's eyes. But waiting is one of the hardest things we do. 10 long years had passed since they left Ur, and still there was no child. Sarai, his wife, grew desperate. Her hope had worn thin, and she decided to take matters into her own hands. She came to Abram with a plan, a common custom of their time. "The Lord has kept me from having children," she said. "Go sleep with my servant Hagar. Perhaps I can build a family through her." It was a human solution to a divine promise, an attempt to help God along. Abram listened to his wife. Hagar conceived, and the plan immediately backfired. The household, once peaceful, was now filled with jealousy and conflict. Hagar, pregnant with the master's child, looked down on her barren mistress. Sarai, consumed by bitterness, treated Hagar so harshly that she ran away. Their attempt to force God's hand only brought pain and division. It was a powerful lesson. God's promises don't need our shortcuts. 13 more years went by. An entire generation. Abram was now 99 years old. He was a centenarian in waiting. Surely all hope was gone. Then God appeared to him again, this time with a declaration of power. "I am God Almighty," he said. "Walk before me faithfully and be blameless. I will confirm my covenant between you and me, and will greatly increase your numbers." Abram fell on his face in awe, and God continued, "No longer will you be called Abram. Your name will be Abraham, for I have made you a father of many nations." A new name for a new identity. Abram meant exalted father. Abraham meant father of a multitude. God was speaking the promise into his very being. Sarai's name was also changed to Sarah, which means princess. And then came the most staggering news of all. God said, "I will bless her and will surely give you a son by her." Abraham, the great man of faith, laughed. He fell on his face, but this time he was laughing to himself, thinking, "Will a son be born to a man 100 years old? Will Sarah bear a child at the age of 90? It was a laugh of disbelief, of seeing the absurdity of it all from a human perspective. But God was not joking. He insisted, "Yes, your wife Sarah will bear you a son, and you will call him Isaac." And just as God had said, within the year, the impossible happened. At 90 years old, Sarah conceived and gave birth to a son. They named him Isaac, which means he laughs. Because, as Sarah joyfully declared, "God has brought me laughter, and everyone who hears about this will laugh with me." The laughter of disbelief had been transformed into the laughter of pure, unadulterated joy. The promise was fulfilled. Abraham, the man who had waited 25 long years, who had doubted, who had made mistakes, now held his miracle son. The journey was long, filled with twists and turns and moments of near despair. But it proves that God's timing, while rarely aligning with our own, is always perfect. He is never late. And through this one man, this one family, and this one promised son, God set in motion a plan to bless the entire world, just as he said he would. Thanks for watching. If this story resonated with you, consider subscribing for more content that explores these timeless truths. See you in the next one.